Good morning, students. I am going to teach about the first lesson, reproduction organisms. So, what do you mean by reproduction? It's a biological process. It's a basic or fundamental feature of all living organisms. It's a process by which organisms produce more number of organisms of their own kind. And then, so this can be classified into two types, that is asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. If we take this asexual reproduction, it occurs only in the case of lower organisms, and then it produces similar daughter individuals, and then it involves only single parent. And then here if you take this sexual reproduction, so here it occurs only in the case of higher organisms, and then it won't produce similar individuals here, and then it involves two parents. And then, so here if you take this asexual reproduction, there is no gamete formation. But here in the case of this sexual reproduction, there will be a gamete formation. Both male and female gametes are formed by this method of reproduction. And the next, I want to say about different modes of asexual reproduction. What are they? The first one is fission, second one is sporulation, and third one is budding, fourth one is gemule formation, and the fifth one is fragmentation, and sixth one is regeneration. So let's see about this different modes of asexual reproduction one by one now. So first I want to say about the fission. So what do you mean by fission? It's a process of division of a parent body into two or more number of identical daughter individuals. This is also called as a fission. So this can be classified into four types. What are they? There is a binary fission, and then multiple fission, sporulation, and strobulation. So what do you mean by binary fission? So here the parent organism divides into two daughter individuals. This is also called as a binary fission. So and then what do you mean by multiple fission? So here the parent organism divides into many daughter individuals. This is also called as a multiple fission. And then if you take this sporulation, so during unfavorable condition, the amoeba will reproduce by the spore formation. This is sporulation method. And the next fourth one is strobulation. It's a special type of transverse fission. This is also called as a strobulation. So let's say about this one by one afterwards. Now, I want to say about the binary fission. Already asked about this. What do you mean by binary fission? It's a process of division of a parent body into two daughter individuals. It's also called as binary fission. So, this can be classified into four types based on the fission. This can be classified into four types. What are they? Based on the plane of division or plane of fission, this can be classified into four types. There is a simple irregular binary fission, and the second one is a transverse binary fission. Third one is a longitudinal binary fission, and then the fourth one is an oblique binary fission. What do you mean by simple irregular binary fission? It occurs only in the case of irregular shaped organisms. For example, we can say about the amoeba. So already you know about this amoeba. It does not have any definite shape. It does not have any proper shape. And it has a contractile vacuole at the center. During the process of division, there is a fission. So this contractile vacuole will disappear, and then the nucleoli disintegrate, and then the nucleus will divide into two. Because of that, the organism will divide into two and produces two daughter individuals. This is also called as it's a simple irregular binary fission. And the next I want to say about the transverse binary fission. So here the plane of division is the transverse. It occurs in the case of paramecium and planaria. So we will take this paramecium. It has two different kinds of nucleus. There is macronucleus as well as micronucleus. So macronucleus divides by the amitotic cell division, and then the micronucleus will divide by the mitotic cell division. And then next, the third one is longitudinal binary fission. So here the plane of fission, there is a plane of division is longitudinal. The well-known example for this is flagellates. So flagellates are sense. So these are nothing but these organisms are having the flagella as their locomotory organ. And then, so examples for this is Vorticella and Euglena. And then, so here in the case of longitudinal binary fission, usually only one daughter individual will retain the flagella, and then because of that, another daughter individual will produce, there is a form of flagellum by using their basal granule. And then next, I want to say about the oblique binary fission. So here, the case of this oblique binary fission, the plane of division is oblique. The well-known example for this is Serratium. So this is an example for a binoflagellate. And then I want to say about the multiple fission. So what do you mean by multiple fission? So here, the single parent body divides into more identical daughter individuals, also called as multiple fission. It occurs in the case of Plasmodium, and also it occurs in the amoeba. So here, in the case of Plasmodium, it occurs in only two stages of their life cycle. What are they? The first one is Schison stage, and the second one is oocyte stage. The first one is the Schison stage, second one is the oocyte stage. If the multiple fission occurs during the Schison stage, so then this is also called as a schizogony. So the organisms that are produced by this schizogony are also called as they are also called as merozoites. And then if the multiple fission occurs during the oocyte stage, then this is also called as a sporogony. The organisms that are formed by this sporogony are also called as sporozoites. And then next, so during the unfavorable condition, that is, if the temperature will be more or less, and then if there is a scarcity of food, the amoeba reproduce by the multiple fission. So here, the case of spore, I want to say about the sporulation. So here, during the unfavorable condition, so this amoeba reproduced by the spore formation method. It's a sporulation method. So here, so if you take this amoeba, so the nucleus of the amoeba will divide into many fragments or pieces. Each and every fragment can be surrounded by the cytoplasmic part, and then it develops this spore case around this structure. And then when the conditions become favorable, so this cyst wall disintegrate. It's because of that the spores are liberated out. So each and every spore will develop into a new organism. This is also called as a sporulation. And the next one is the budding method. So we will take this hydra. So if you take this hydra, so the budding method will be occur. So here budding, the sense the buds are arise from the body of the organism, and then by the formation of buds, these organisms are reproducing. So here, so this can be classified into two, that is exogenous budding and endogenous budding. So what do you mean by exogenous budding? So when the buds are formed from the outer surface of the organisms, then this is also called as exogenous budding. The well-known example for this is hydra. And then what do you mean by endogenous budding? Here the buds are formed inside the cytoplasm of the organism. So this is also called as endogenous budding. The well-known example for this is Noctiluca. And the next I want to say about gemule formation. So here gemmules are nothing but these are the internal buds. So these are present in the case of freshwater as well as they are present there in the case of marine sponges. And then, so here I want to say about the fragmentation method. What do you mean by fragmentation? So here the parent body breaks into several fragments. Each and every fragment will develop into a new organism. This is also called as a fragmentation. The well-known example for this fragmentation method is sea anemone and tapeworm. So, and the next one is a regeneration method. So here some of the organisms they will regain their lost body parts. So this process is also called as regeneration. So it's nothing but replacement of the lost body parts. So here this can be classified into two types. There is morpholaxis and epimorphosis. So what do you mean by morpholaxis? So in the case of morpholaxis, a complete organism can be developed This is also called as morpholepsis. So here it will cut the organism into several pieces. Each and every piece will develop into a new organism. This is also called as morpholepsis. And then it will be occurred in the case of Hydra and Planaria. And the next, what do you mean by epimorphosis? So if you take this epimorphosis, only the last body parts alone will develop. This is also called as some epimorphosis. So this can be classified into two types. There is a reparative and a restorative. So what do you mean by reparative? So here only a few injured tissues alone will develop. This is also called as reparative. And what do you mean by restorative? Here the last body part alone will develop. This is also called as restorative. So what are the examples of this? There is epimorphosis, there is a small lizard, and we can say about the starfishes. So here this regeneration was first studied by Abraham Trumpy in the year 1740, which is studied first in the case of Hydra alone. So with this I want to finish. I'll say about the sexual reproduction later.